Welcome to Show of Truth. My name is Shannon, and I am a healer and a medicine woman and a human being alive on the planet at this amazingly transformational era, time, phase we are in. I'm making a point to come on each day for the next 30 days and share a tidbit of truth. Truth, while it can be subjective, meaning different to each person having their own truth, there are certain things that are universal truths, like if there is life, there is death. And if there is death, there is life. Those are things that no matter how much we try to extract ourselves or be individualized from these processes, the universal truths are truths that we are all affected by. So it is my intention to share universal truth through the lens of my own life experience. And I can only offer that which I have direct experience with. Luckily for you and for me and for whoever's watching, I have a lot of life experience in this one body that has given me a really comprehensive view on trauma, healing, spirituality, the patterns of our culture and how conditioning affects our psyche, and what it means to be a magical person in a very, very strange time of evolution. So I honor you for being here, for watching this, because if you're watching this right now, I guarantee you are a magical person. It is rare for someone to watch my videos, and meaning that it takes a special kind of a person to be able to receive the level of unconditional love that I share in these transmissions. These transmissions, while though they're coming from my mouth, they are not the smallness of my personality talking. They're my heart, my cosmic self, and my life experience all blended together. So with that being said, I'll introduce the first topic. And this topic is a topic I picked. I'm open if any of you feel like there's topics you'd like me to share on in the next 30 days to let me know, and I will put that as a priority and reflect on these topics. This next topic, this first topic, is one that is very, very near and dear to my heart. It has been the cause of, this topic has been the cause of so much suffering in my lineage and in the lives of those that are near and dear to me and in the lives of those that I see on the planet. And this topic is mental illness. So, redefining mental illness. Why am I wanting to redefine the term mental illness? Because I feel that the term mental illness is limiting. In our culture, when someone doesn't fit into the normal ways of being, for instance, they go to school and they're not able to learn the way the other students learn, or they express communication that's different than others, or they're at a different pace in life than others, than what's been tagged as normal. First of all, this normal that everyone's comparing themselves to and their children to is not normal, okay? It is a culture. Now, so culture, have you ever heard of a cult leaders? So we have cult leaders running our country, and we've had cult leaders running other countries and our country for some time now. And cult leaders create cultures. They create whole systems of operating. They create ways, like lists, like you read a manual for putting together a table. They put together very detailed lists of how each person should operate in this culture so that they are benefited. Do you get that? Cult leaders create cultures that benefit them, ultimately. And what they don't notice is they don't notice how, because they're completely insane, these people are completely insane, they don't realize that their dominance, their need to be the one in control, meaning, have you ever dated a partner where they wanted you to look a certain way and dress a certain way and act a certain way, and they didn't really approve of the way you just organically were, right? We have people running our country that are like this. Now, what I'll say to correct my speech is they're not actually the ones running the country, but they're the ones that are in charge at the moment of a lot of our systems. Okay, so someone like myself, someone like yourself who's watching this is here to create a new system. So we're in the midst of creating a new system, which means the old system is dying. Life, death. Okay, so the old system's crumbling and the new system is arising. This new system isn't any organized thing of how people should be. This new system is based on love. It's based on acceptance. It's based on giving space for each individually unique person to be that individually unique person. For instance, when we find a flower out in nature that's like a new flower that we've never seen before, scientists from all over the world, we fly in to witness the beauty and the magnificence of this flower, this new flower that's never been seen before. What if we treated all of those people who have the different qualities that we deem as that bad or whatever, or have deemed as bad or whatever, what if we all treated people like rare orchid, not even orchids, like rare flowers that have never been born before? I am one such flower. I have been called mentally ill. I have been called bipolar. I have been called chronically depressed. I have been called schizophrenic. I have been placed in institutions. I have been called an addict. I have been called ADHD, ADD. I've been called specially gifted, super intelligent. I've been called having mild Asperger's, being on the spectrum, low-level spectrum. Now, what I'm trying to get at with all of these labels is none of those labels are actually who I am. They're all words that a system that tries to put people in boxes created to describe things. So even if your kid is getting labeled as having ADD or ADHD or bipolar or whatever by a doctor, I'd be very mindful of taking that diagnosis as the truth, because even in diagnosing people, and I've studied psychology in school as well, and I study psychology because it's so near and dear to my path as I'm here to help people rewire their psychology. There's so many variables in really accurately diagnosing someone as having anything. What I would really like to see us all switch to is to unplug the guilt and the shame for being different, unplug the need to know what the fuck you are, unplug all those, unplug the need for approval from society, unplug the need for approval from yourself, unplug the need to be different than you are. There's so much space for you in this world. So much space. All the parts, even the parts that are weird. So part of my path personally, since I've been diagnosed as having all this mental illness and blah, 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 whatever, has been to unplug myself from all of the beliefs that cause the illness. So here we go. Redefining mental illness. Mental illness is not something wrong with the person. Repeat that again. Having a mental illness is not something wrong with you. I'm redefining mental illness as having contracted an illness in your mind from a sick culture. Let me repeat that. Mental illness is not there being something wrong with you. Mental illness is contracting a belief in your mind that creates illness. One more time. Mental illness is not something wrong with you. Mental illness is that you've contracted a belief from the culture that's creating illness in your mind. Because you are healed. Now, there is such a thing as having imbalance. There is such a thing as having psychosis. There is such a thing as needing mental support. But it's not because there's anything wrong with you. It's because this culture is designed in such a way that brings the attention away from the heart and away from the body and into fantasies and ideas and dreams and ideals that a human being could never reach. Some of these dreams that you're aspiring to that are causing you insanity are actually dreams you're not meant to have. They're not meant for everyone. This culture of greed and everyone having $1 billion and all the money and all the cars and all that, that is an illness. It's a sickness. And the reason why it's a sickness is because these people who are valuing these things don't realize, and even you, how the very act of seeking superficiality causes suffering to your very soul. The truth about heaven on earth, the truth about this new paradigm that's the people like me are ushering in. You're going to hear heaven on earth. You're going to hear new earth. You're going to hear these things. It's not about going somewhere else. It's not about being somebody better. It's not about a completely transcending human pain. On the contrary, it's about bumping your elbows, scraping your knees, getting up and being grateful that you had the opportunity to even experience the physicality of this life. You are an infinite being. Whether you remember that now or in 10 years from now, or in a session with me and you have some kind of remembrance of being an infinite being, you are an infinite being. It's the truth. This life is a small blip. So what are you going to do? Are you going to live for a dream that's been created by a man that was disconnected from his heart? I'm a no to that. I'm choosing a dream that's birthed from the innocence of the preciousness and the sweetness of the organic inner child. The child that's fully held in love, that's fully held in compassion, that's fully held in acceptance, that's given space for her creations to blossom, his creations to blossom. It's given space. And if you had parents that didn't know how to teach you what true safety is like in the world, if you had parents that didn't know how to follow their own heart, and so you've been taught to stuff your heart down, 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 far, far, far away, just know that trying to fit in and doing anything that compromises your love will get you nowhere fast. So my intention was to come on here and share less than 15 minutes. It's been less than 15 minutes thus far. The work I do offers really powerful reflection for you on your path. I offer timeless support. So wherever you are, in whatever phase of your life journey you're in this awakening path, I can support you. And I support you not through telling you what to do, but through loving you unconditionally and reflecting your true soul integrity to you. Some areas that I've specialized in because of my own passion are relationships and healing the relational field so that you can experience what it's like to be organically loved as you are, unconditionally accepted, which will help you have better relationships with life, everything in life. The other part of the work I do is super multi-dimensional soul work, helping you weave the parts of you that have been experienced through all time and space, maybe other lifetimes, maybe other planets, maybe other star systems, and I help you bring that information back online, fully into your body. Because part of being a cosmic being is that, guess what? Right now, we're sitting on a planet in a solar system, moving so fast. We are not still. And part of the sensitivities that I bring through are connections to other places, other planets. Just like you can connect with a tree and you can feel the tree, and you can, when you work with the garden, you can feel the earth and you can get your feet in the earth and you feel that healing power when you're out in nature. The whole universe is nature and you are a part of it. So get your boots on, because we're going on a ride if you work with me. Blessings, redefining mental illness for the purpose of all of our sanity. You are sane. The culture that dims the heart is the illness. Blessings.